I'm Artsy Gamer 7 and welcome back to another creative sim here on the channel. Apologize, my nose is still a little bit nasally and funky. Like, I technically am no longer sick, at least I don't think I am, but I'm still having some leftover from it, so I'm just waiting for it to fully clear out of my system. Probably doesn't help that my current job has me going in and out of cold coolers and freezers all the time, all day long. But oh well, I have to get paid somehow. So yeah. Anyway, we are back with what is going to be the last Legend of Zelda cast for now. I will probably bring this back at some point, or if I spin the wheel and it picks Legend of Zelda again, then it will be back at that point in time. But for now, this will be the ending of this series. Eventually, you know, I want to change a pace every once in a while, do a different series of trying to create something and turn it into Sims. So this will be the end for now, and a new series will start. But I was sort of excited that the last character that I got to spin the wheel. I like making wheels for these things because I like the random aspect of it to a little bit because it challenges me a little bit more. But I was glad that it was actually a character that I'm at least familiar with, because I haven't got to play all the Legend of Zeldas, but I did want to include characters from most of the Legend of Zeldas. So here we are with a character from Skyward Sword, which is one that I have got to play. And this is Kina. So Kina is like one of those background characters. She's definitely not someone who's like there all the time, and depending on how you played, you might not have ever went back to see her more often than once or twice or so. So she is not one of those like big characters. She's not, obviously, definitely not any of the main characters, but she's not even like a main side character, you know, like Groose or Grouse. I can't remember how exactly it's pronounced. But so yeah, she works over at the Lumpy Pumpkin in Skyloft. So it's like another floating island that's over off on the side that you can go visit, and it's like a little bar restaurant area, and that's where she works because her father actually owns it. She also is known, she's known as being like a beautiful singer, and a lot of times she would sing there, but I believe she did not sing there often because of the fact there just wasn't people to play instruments and stuff alongside her. There is like a little side quest or mini game that you can actually do where Link actually plays with her, and she gets to sing. I think there's like 3 or 4 different missions associated with her because of a series of events that inevitably the player is probably going to do, because there is some very tempting things on a chandelier in the Lumpy Pumpkin. So yeah, but I always thought she looked really adorable and cute, and I don't know, I just sort of really liked her even though she was just sort of off on the side. But so I was excited that I actually got to try to recreate her. I will say I do like Skyward Sword. All the Zeldas that I've played I have liked or loved to some degree, but I will say it's probably in my bottom of all the Zelda games. Just for me personally, part of the reason why it wasn't one of my favorite ones was probably because to me it didn't seem like it was, I wouldn't necessarily say they're like super challenging, but it definitely wasn't as challenging as past Zelda games from my experience, and also it just didn't seem as long. That being said, I haven't got to play all the Zeldas. I've only played pretty much all the console ones since Ocarina of Time. And I have dabbled with 1 or 2 of the portable ones, but I didn't make it very far because for some reason it was really hard for me to get down and sit down and play those portable games sometimes. Just really depends, it varies. But yeah, but Skyward Sword obviously was a console one, so therefore I have played it. I've played Ocarina of Time, I've played Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword, Breath of the Wild. I think those are the ones that I've completed. I think. I know that I've touched a few of the other ones, but I haven't ever beat them. But yeah, anyway. So, in my experience, it wasn't as long. It wasn't as long of an experience. It seemed like it I beat it much quicker than any of the other ones. I also just think it wasn't quite as challenging, which is probably part of the why it went by quicker. So yeah, but I still like the game, and honestly, as far as like emotional like parts of the things, I think it was one of the more emotionally driven Legend of Zelda games. Once you got, especially towards the end. But other than that, it wasn't one of my favorite ones. But I still liked parts of it. I still enjoyed it. I actually plan to eventually replay it. But, like, because I got the remastered version. And that's the one I'm going to replay eventually. But I'm actually deciding, because I mentioned in one of these creative sims, I thought about playing through all of the Zeldas and finding ways. I actually am planning on doing that. I don't know when I'm going to start it. I already know I have access to the very first two because of the whole Switch Online thing. So, but there's a few games, mainly the portable ones that are on DS, if I don't have them, and also just figuring out, I've never tried to record any DS games either. So I gotta figure out ways to try to fix that and figure that out. But other than that, I am going to be doing it, and I'll probably try to start it a little bit soonish, because like I said, I already have access to some of the earlier ones. It's when I start getting in that middle area, closer towards like the DS and 3DS and Game Boy, like those ones, the portable ones, basically. That's where I gotta figure out how I'm going to do that. Some of them have re-released and been remastered or whatever, and have gotten console versions, like Link's Awakening, which I do have. It's one of the technical console versions at this point that I haven't played, but I have it. So, and now I'm gonna hold off because I'm gonna do this. So, any of those I've got figured out, but there's a few. There's like 4 of them maybe that I'm not sure how I'm going to get access to, play, and record them, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna figure it out. So that is a thing that I'm gonna do. But yeah, so hopefully maybe I'll look forward to that, because I am going to do that. I eventually want to try to start streaming, but I haven't figured out, like, when I want to start doing that and how I'm going to put that into, like, a scheduling system and stuff like that. So, once I work that out, that may be something I do if I haven't started recording that yet. But, yeah, that's a totally different story. But anyway, back to Kina here. So, yeah. But I did enjoy Kina. I thought she was adorable. Her hair sort of looks like a little pumpkin on top of her head, like it's shaped like a pumpkin and stuff. And I will say that was there was a hair that I got to that I think was a little bit more closer to her hair, but I actually literally just used it on Astrid. So ultimately I decided to go with a different hair because I didn't want to use the same hair on a character in the same CAS series, literally right back to each other. So I was like, no, we're going to use a different hair. I also couldn't decide on a finalized dress, so I technically give her 2 outfits that to me give strong Kina vibes and have somewhat the color scheme going to. If I could just fuse those 2 dresses together, those 2 outfits, it would have been great. But none of the outfits had all of the colors that I wanted to and the aesthetic I wanted to. The cottage, was it cottage living? Was it cottage living, or is my brain just wanting to say that? Anyway, the one pack, the outfits that came with it, I immediately knew that I sort of wanted to try those. I did go look through some of my other options, but I was like, those to me scream more of her style of vibes than any of the other ones. So I gave her 2 of those. One has some of the colors on it, and the other has some of the other colors on it. But ultimately, I really do like how she turned out. I think she is adorable, and I actually did find someone who created a lumpy pumpkin over on the gallery, so I used it as the setting to take these pictures. I did move some things around because I was trying to wait for the pumpkins to grow, so I actually needed her to live in this for a bit till the pumpkins could grow, just so I could take pictures with pumpkins. So yeah, I sometimes do these crazy things when it comes to trying to take pictures of my Sims for these creative Sims, but you know what, I ultimately in the end I'm happy with it, so I consider it time worth. So yeah, I will put all that information down in the description below of where I got this lumpy pumpkin off the gallery if you are interested in downloading it yourself. My Sims, I don't normally post my Sims, my creative Sims. I forget to mention this sometimes, but I don't normally post them because they do have CC. But if there's ever a character that you want me to actually post up on the gallery because you like how they look and you at least want the base of them, please let me know down in the comments below, and I definitely will do that. But let me know your thoughts on Kina. Did you like her in the game? Did you get to play Skyward Sword? And how do you like how her sim turned out? Do you think it looks like her, or, you know, is there something you would have done differently? I'm open to suggestions. But I hope you still like her overall, or mostly. If so, hit that lovely like button. You know that lovely YouTube goodiness. And I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Again, the next Creative Sim will be a new series, which I already know what it's going to be. And I've already actually started creating the characters from it, like the characters that I'm spinning a wheel for, so be looking forward to that coming up next time, and I'll hopefully see you then. But until then, bye-bye!